Okay, welcome. Hi, thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking and watching this video. Today, what I want to talk to you about is TCM herbs, or traditional Chinese medicine herbs that are good for supporting your menstrual phase or supporting your menstrual cycle, or to, again, help to bring on your period, right? So if you don't know who I am, my name is Natty Winter. I am a natural fertility activation coach. I help women to conceive naturally without pain, meds, or stress. And so one of the ways that I do that is through using herbs and other natural methods of increasing your fertility, your egg quality, or reducing fertility issues such as amenorrhea, PCOS, poor egg quality, fibroids, and the list goes on. So the one thing that I want to talk about today, again, is three TCM herbs, or three traditional Chinese medicine herbs that can help. Okay, so traditional TCM is a medicinal practice that has been used in ancient China for millennia or thousands of years. Okay, and so they've pretty much mastered, the benefits, the properties, the uses, and the treatments and applications of, using different herbs in combination, and depending on your own symptoms or your own conditions that you are presenting, right? And so sometimes, you can be presenting too much, like moisture, or too much, different things may be happening with your kidney or your liver. And so they pretty much have categorized to some degree a lot of, again, symptoms, and then different foods and herbs and other concoctions, or blends, okay, that can help to restore health or restore your chi or your vitality, right? And so when it comes to amenorrhea or scant or missing periods, and things that are associated with PCOS, are, especially if you're trying to conceive, one of the biggest problems, of course, is if you don't have your period, or if you're not getting your period, then it can be more difficult for you to actually get pregnant. So that's not to say that you cannot get pregnant if you have PCOS, but the problem is that if you're not menstruating, and I said this 1,000 times, I should just click a button and have it say it for me. But the problem is that if you're not menstruating, then chances are that you're not ovulating. Okay, and that's because the woman's reproductive system is a biofeedback system, meaning that one thing typically needs to happen in order for the next thing to occur. And so in this case, the one thing is getting your period, and then you ovulate, or ovulating and then getting your period. Okay. And this is, based on our hormonal system and our endocrine system, and just how our body sort of regulates hormones, whether we need more hormones or less hormones. Okay. And so the three TCM herbs that are beneficial for helping to support your menstrual phase are licorice, donghua, and ginger. Okay, and so although I'm talking about herbs that are good for supporting your menstrual phase, this does not necessarily mean that it's going to make you get your period, or that these are herbs that, if you think you're pregnant, are going to cause an abortion or miscarriage or anything like that. It really does depend on how you use the herbs, though, right? So I will say that. But if you take, for example, ginger, although ginger can help to support your menstrual phase, it's not necessarily an abortifactant, right? But all these herbs are, they do have amenorrheic properties. Okay, so that means that they can stimulate the uterus or promote blood flow to the uterus. But just to be more specific, let's talk about licorice, for example. Okay, so licorice Licorice, it helps to stimulate the uterus. It helps to regulate your periods. And so this is a herb that is beneficial for, again, supporting the menstrual phase. But again, let's say you're not getting your period and you haven't been getting your period for months, although licorice can help, licorice is not one of the herbs that you really want to take for a prolonged period of time. So you do have to stop taking it after a certain while. And your body will kind of like nudge you in that direction anyways. Oh my gosh, I actually have all 3 of these herbs. I meant to do this video with the 3 herbs and I did not bring them with me. But anyways, licorice, I'll show you in another video, or maybe in a reel, or maybe I'll even pause this video so I can present it to you. As a matter of fact, let me do that. So I'm actually going to, I can't do that. There's no pause. Dang. Okay. So I guess we'll do that another time. But yeah, so licorice helps to stimulate the uterus. And the reason why this is good is when you're stimulating the uterus, you're helping to, encourage the hormones that need to be produced, that in the amount they need to be produced in that area, or to be to sort of trigger your body to menstruate by like softening the cervix, softening the uterine lining. And so the stimulation effect is going to allow the uterine lining to shed and allow it to actually come through the cervix. And so that's one of the reasons why licorice is good for that. And again, it also helps to regulate the period. So to encourage this to happen regularly, which I think that this is so interesting, because I think that one of the reasons why licorice, again, is, like I said, one, you're not really supposed to take it for a prolonged period of time. And then 2, like I mentioned from my own experience, I feel like licorice kind of makes you want to stop taking it. I think that that's sort of like nature's way of, again, helping to regulate the cycle, right? So it's like you'll consume it and then your body will be like, back off, right? And then so like that will be like the time when, you need to stop taking it for your other menstrual phase cycles to happen, like your follicular phase, right? So I think licorice is something that you should take more during like your premenstrual phase. So during your luteal phase, or after you ovulate, it might be a good time. I will have to check up on that one more time, but that is, usually when you're taking herbs to sort of promote different phases of your cycle, you want to take these herbs like either before that phase of your cycle that you're trying to promote, or during that phase of your cycle. And so I think licorice is one of those ones that you want to take before you menstruate, or while you're menstruating. Okay. And of course, if you don't get your period, you want to also take it cyclically, so that way you can encourage your body to regulate itself. Okay. So the next thing is Dongqua. Dongqua is the second herb that we're talking about, which I also have. Dongqua it helps to increase blood flow to the uterus. Okay. So you're actually, if you use Dongqua, you may actually start to feel the sensation, or to have a greater awareness of your vaginal region, your pelvic region, because you may be starting to, again, feel the blood flow there, which may trigger, again, just sensory, like nerves and nerve endings and things like that, for you to start to actually feel it. So I do think Dongqua is one of the herbs that you can actually start to feel the effect, because I do use it in my yoni steam, and I notice that immediately my attention goes towards my pelvic region. Now I do have some other herbs in there, but I do think that that is one of the reasons why I, again, begin to sense that, as well as some of my other clients. So Dongqua also helps to increase blood flow to the ovaries as well. And this is good if you have low egg quality or poor egg quality, or again, PCOS. Okay, because sometimes when you have PCOS, you may not be getting enough blood flow to the ovaries, to your tubes and things like that. And that can cause things like stagnation, like hydrosalpinx, or blockages, or like chocolate cysts. And so we want to sort of increase the circulation, okay, so that way good healthy nutrients can flow in, and poor nutrients can flow out. And so Dongqua may be beneficial for that as well. But again, definitely helps to support your menstrual phase, and Dongqua is actually known as the woman's ginseng. Okay, it also goes by the name Angelica, but in TCM is called Dongqua. So that is number 2. Number 3 is ginger root. Okay, so we're all familiar with ginger root. Everyone can go in their kitchen probably right now and grab either some ginger root whole or some ginger powder. Okay, and so similar to licorice root, ginger also helps to stimulate blood flow and circulation to the uterus. But more so, it helps to actually stimulate uterine contractions, right? And so the uterine contractions combined with like all of the other properties that we mentioned, stimulating the uterus, regulating the period, increasing blood flow to the uterus and ovaries, all of this is going to help to, again, promote your menstrual cycle, encourage you to have periods. And again, that's going to help to regulate your cycle. So ginger, again, also helps to regulate the cycle. Right. And so all 3 of these herbs are really good, and you might want to take them in combination. Notice that they are all root herbs, right? So it is really good if you could like really steep these herbs for a while to extract all of the properties out of them, depending on how you're going to use them. And again, just to talk more about ginger stimulating the uterus, again, we're talking about mild contractions. Okay, so it's not it's not going to be very abrupt. It's not going to be like cramping pains or anything like that, but you might notice like slight tinges or maybe even flutters and movement of your cervix, like very just mild sort of contractions. Okay, so if I could say, but definitely nothing as intense as labor contractions, but again, just very mild, gentle contractions, right? And so these are just the 3 herbs that can help you to improve your menstrual cycle, improve your fertility, especially if you are trying to conceive, to have a baby, or if you have, again, issues such as PCOS, amenorrhea, scant, or missing periods, right? So if you would like to learn more, or even learn more herbs that can help with your periods, make sure to go to the link in my website to visit my blog to learn more. Okay, and also I'd love to offer you an invitation to my fertility frequency, the masterclass for my fertility frequency program, where we practice a fertility routine regularly, so that way we can help to promote fertility, to help you to increase yours and to also conceive a baby naturally. Also, there's a few other links in the description, so that way you can, learn more about how to improve your egg quality, learn more about my Fertility Goddess Rituals program, and a few other things. So check out the links in the description, and I will see you in another video. Take care.